Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's versions of readings. This is on YouTube channel James 13 Wicca. In case you're seeing it anywhere else, this is where it should be. Also, I'm now offering live readings, in-person readings, if you're near Herkimer, New York. This weekend, October 26th, I will be in Dolishville for a benefit for Lisa Knapp, doing short readings. I believe that's from 1 to 5. I'll have more information on my Instagram on that. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Information below. If you're interested in the donation information, then information is also below. Thank you very much, and let's go into your reading. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? A lot of push, a lot of strength. Who? I want to say Scorpio had something like this. If you're dealing with a Scorpio, or I don't know, it might help your story if this one leaves some questions unanswered. The reason I'm saying that is because you got the King of Wands and you got the Strength in the center. Both of those talk to me of Leo. Sometimes the Queen of Wands talks to me of Leo too. A lot of Leo energy, which I know, why am I talking about Scorpio? Because Scorpio reading had that same energy in the center, which was very interesting. That happened to Pisces. So I don't know, if you're dealing with water signs, you might want to check out the water sign thing too. I don't know. So if you're dealing with water signs, there might be a lot, especially if this is a very complicated issue, that might help. In case this leaves, more questions than answers. Because I'm getting like, whatever the situation started as, you went into it the way you wanted to. It's kind of like, whether this be a friendship, a romance, a business situation, some vocation, whatever it may be, some class for somebody. I feel like I didn't worry about what the situation was. I got involved in it. I was like, you know what? I'm partially connected. I'm partially invested, but I can go. If this doesn't work, I can go. I'm not super worried about it. This is how you got into it. This is how maybe it started. Could have been a relationship where it's kind of like, I'll give it a shot. Works great. It doesn't? All right, I'll move on. Could literally been for some of you school. Kind of like, I'll go down this path. If that doesn't work, I'll just change my major. I'll do something else. I'll just use that where I can to my advantage. If I can't, you know what? I'll just keep going. I'm sure it'll benefit me at some point. I feel like also with the Queen of Cups, I was playing it very strategically. Not everybody gets to know my business. I feel like whatever I'm dealing with, people have their own secrets, and I'm not going to expose everything I'm doing here just so they can angle it to their advantage. Certain things here I'm keeping to myself. I'm doing this for me. I need to do this very strategically to make sure this works out for me long run. Especially if it's, there's a lot going on here. Kind of like I had to be strategic. It's very dog eat dog. It feels very dog eat dog with this situation. Kind of like I have to do what I have to do. I keep switching gears. There's a lot of different things going on here. It does remind me of corporate life in the sense of like, everybody for themselves. It kind of feels like that. It's kind of like, I know that's how they're treating it. So I have to be careful not to show my poker hand because people will just use it to their advantage. And I can't allow that. Whatever it's been though, I feel like you have also been involved with it for quite a while. Maybe longer than you originally thought. Or it's kind of like, it's almost like I'm looking back and like, wow, I've been here 8 years. Like, is there an 8 there? Yeah. Just for argument's sake. I feel like I've been here longer than I thought. I'm like, I've been doing this longer than I thought I would. I knew it could go so far, but I didn't think I'd take it this far, but it's working for me, so I'm going to keep going. I keep going back to the school thing, so that's interesting. It's almost like maybe I was going to take a 2-year course and see if that worked out, and then I had an option to keep going for 2 more years, and then next thing you know, I've been there for 8 years, and I'm like, okay, I'm on my way to a doctorate, but I was just going to go for the associate's degree, but here I am, I'm still going. Business, whatever it may be for you. It could be a relationship for some of you too, where it's just kind of like this works for now, but then it's like I've been here for so long, I'm just like kind of shocked I'm still here. Might be like that. A change is coming. Oh, okay. I saw a lot of fire, and I talked about the Leo energy coming in. It doesn't have to be a literal Leo, but it's like something showing up and demanding attention. Like demanding attention. Something that very much thinks you're awesome. That fire energy is very compatible with Aries, but you also got this going on here. Somebody thinks you're the bee's knees. Like, you are awesome. This is perfect. You were meant for this. Let's go. Let's do this. Very strong energy, not very shy at all, which is usually something that Aries kind of prefers. Like, if you are going to offer me something, just put it on the table. Tell me what it is. I'll let you know if I'm for it or not. Just like put it right out there. I'll let you know if I want it or not. Just put it right out there. Don't play games with me. Tell me the truth. And it's coming in. Could be a person, could be a situation. And it's kind of like, I've been to this situation so long. It's almost like going to college and like almost at the doctorate level. And then you're like, you know what? That was fun. I'm seeing something else that's really interesting to me. And it's really, really enticing. Some other possibility is coming in here. It doesn't have to mean that what you've worked on so far is not going to have value, but this is definitely changing the whole landscape with this coming in. I feel like I've said this in a couple other readings today. Watching this doesn't make it happen. It's either there or it's not. So if you're afraid of something coming in, watching this isn't going to do that. Usually Aries catches onto that pretty quickly, but once in a while people watch and they're like, I didn't want to watch it because I was afraid it was going to happen. You watching it doesn't make it happen. I'm just saying. It's either there or it's not. I feel like when I'm first looking at this, it's very enticing, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but I've been at this situation for 8 years or whatever, however long. And it's kind of like, I'm kind of like, oh, I really want to. If this happened 6 years ago, I'd have been there in 2 seconds. But it's like, I'm 8 years into this now. I don't know about this. I don't know. Like, everything I've accumulated, I don't know if I want to just like let that go and go to something else. But it's really kind of like really, really enticing to me. And I'm like, my first initial reaction is to hold back. I'm not going to do this. My first thought is, I'm not going to do this. No. I can't do this. No. Yet at the same time, even though I'm holding back, thoughts keep going. It keeps coming back into my mind. This reminds me of something where, you walk away from a person, if it's a romantic thing or not, and you're just like, oh, out of sight, out of mind. And then something happens and you're like, I'm thinking about it again. I'm like, oh, I don't want to think about that. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. It keeps popping in. It's almost like I could go 2 to 3 days not have a thought about it. Then all of a sudden I'm like picking up something from the grocery store. I think of this situation and I'm like, oh, no, I said no. I said I wasn't going to do that. I said no. I said I wasn't going to do that. More comes in, you're ready for more, and then this lock and key thing that says take control of your thoughts. I always see it as the lock and key. That's just what shows up for me mentally, kind of like possibilities are here. Is it right for you or is it not right for you? Is it right for you or is it not? And it's kind of like I can't seem to let go of the thought. I can't seem to let go of the thought. So, all right, there's possibilities. I feel like you know that. The truth is coming forward, and it's kind of like the more I'm looking at this situation that I want, the more I'm discontent with what I have. The more I see what I actually want, the more discontent I am with what I have. Because I keep getting that same thought. If this was 6 years ago, I would have gone for that in 5 seconds. But now I'm 8 years in. I don't feel like they should do that. But as time goes on, it just feels like, oh, I really want that other thing now. The more I can't have it, the more I tell myself I shouldn't have it, the more I want it. You don't have to just jump forward and just do this. By the way, whatever it is, it's not like a pass-fail. It's not a yes-no. It may seem like it, but I don't know. It depends how it's hitting in your life. You got to make your decisions on what's right and what's not right. But I'm getting like The thought here, the possibility is not that you have to either go this way or that way. There is the possibility to do some research and look deeper into the possibility you're considering, well, or the possibility you're telling yourself you can't have. You're like, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. Look deeper into it. Do some deeper research. I'm getting just doing research is not a bad thing. You decide for yourself what you think is right. Clearly. Because I'm getting like a lot of information can come forward, and I'm getting that you could find this, you're smart. Aries, in my opinion, Aries tends to be smart, and you also tend to be on the level. Look into this. What's that about? What does this really entail? If I decide to go down that road, what would really happen? What would my life really look like? Would this, like, would I look back in like 5 months, 10 months, even a couple years and be like, oh, I shouldn't have done that? Or would I look back and be like, well, it was a change that was a little bit rough, but I'm happier where I am now. Do I feel I'd be happier if I chose that road? Or do I feel like, oh, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should have stuck with what I had. Or I'm going to look at it going, you know what? It was difficult change, but it was worth it. What will I look at? Just by researching it, it could really change the whole landscape for you. Because when I really let myself explore the thought, what would my life look like if I did that? Take it with a grain of salt. You got to do what you feel is right. You may decide that you really don't want it. It's ironic. By actually going through the stages and looking at what it would really look like, what it would entail, what it would take to make it happen, you may find out, like, you find all the mysteries. You look under all these rocks or shells. Are they shells? Yeah. You look at all the shells. You explore all these shells, and you're like, okay, all this would happen. This would kind of go there. This would change that. The Eight of Wands with the Seven of Cups, I'm getting like, I see how much it would take and everything I'd have to do. And I feel like you may decide that it's not for you. You may. It's a general read. Take it with a grain of salt. Because I feel like I'm looking at this in a whole different view when I'm allowing myself to really search it out and like look at what my life would really be. And I'm kind of like, to go down this vocation, say like I'm 8 years into this one situation, if I go down this other one, that's going to take at least X amount of time to get to a point where I'd be happy. And like, do I really want to do that? What type of living would I have? What type of environment? How much free time would I have? How much time would I need to invest in that? Do I like it that much that I really want to do that? Is there just a few aspects that I like, or are there some bigger things? Like, ironically, it's the not looking at it which is making it look better than it is. When I directly look at it, which is interesting, because Aries usually faces things and gets right into it, but if you're telling yourself, no, I can't, and for some reason you're just blocking yourself from even considering it, you're just blocking it, like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And it's like your hard answer, like, no, I'm not. So there's no need to look over there because I'm not. It's ironic. It's that energy that's making it that enticing. But when you're like, all right, let me just look at it. Let me sort it out. Let me investigate what it's really about. It brings the energy way down. And it's kind of like, I don't feel like this is guaranteed to be what I want. I feel like this could just create a lot of mess in my life. And then I might look back and be like, oh, I went a direction that I really feel like didn't serve me. And I feel like if I really thought about it a little closer, I wouldn't have chose it. All it takes is looking at it. Whatever it is that wants your attention seems to think it's going to get it. But by you looking at it closer, I feel like it takes all the energy away from that situation. There might be some falsehoods with this situation, because I'm getting the Tower here. By you looking closer, what's the other one? Prayers are being answered. By you looking closer, I feel like I'm seeing like, oh, there was some smoke and mirrors here. That looked great. That wasn't that great. It's kind of like wanting to be in the medical profession and seeing all the like watching some of those shows on TV where they're running and helping this person and putting in the IVs and fixing this and fixing that without realizing there's a lot of book work. There's a lot of research. There's a lot of learning that really needs to be done. Like, people don't just jump in it and just save people. They know what they're doing because they put in a lot of book work to know what they're doing. And it's kind of like realizing, oh, there's a lot more here than I was really considering. And now that I'm looking deeper in and how much that would take, maybe this isn't for me. Take it with a grain of salt. Do what you think is right, of course. I feel like for those of you this is going to hit with, it's basically something you're not allowing yourself to consider. Ironically, considering it and looking through it will shut it down and kind of relax the energy. Granted, there may be some of you who look a little bit deeper and decide, you know what, that's actually what I want. Go for it. If that's what you want, do what you think is right. This is, this is your life. You got to decide what's right. But I'm feeling like if it's really if you're one of the people that like this is for you and you're going to go that direction, denying yourself the thought isn't going to stop you from doing it. I feel like you're going to go that way sooner or later anyway. So facing it, which is ironically typically Aries thing, usually you guys get right in there and you look right at things. I feel like what they're saying is like you're not doing yourself any favors by not facing it. It's very odd. I feel like this is very odd for an Aries reading. Whatever it is, you're telling yourself, I can't, I mustn't, I shouldn't, no, I won't, I've decided no, no, no. That's keeping the energy in it. That's keeping it alive. Especially because that's like ignoring your natural energy. So interesting. If this reading is hitting for you, of course. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. Thanks again for watching and have a great day.